The transport of the future provides new design opportunities as well as it sets new extraordinary tasks. Today, this is happening to passenger drones, personal rapid transit, vacuum tube trains, and skyway stream transport, where the space arrangement approach is a determining factor. Of course, the basic criteria for creating the skyway design are the same as those for the creators of conventional vehicles: ease of use, maintainability, and appearance. It should tell a customer about the philosophy and the mission of its technology, such as, for example, sustainability, which means minimizing energy consumption and transport pollution. Moreover, it is important to emphasize the friendliness and maximum safety of the transportation service offered. These requirements establish the rolling stock development process. The development thrust is the maximum approximation to the natural shape. Skyway vehicles tend to even surpass the perfect drop shape in their outlines. From an idea or a sketch to an operating model, the designers go through the path of search and study at all stages. Then all the excess is removed, the roughness is smoothed out, and the sharpness is achieved. This makes the car close to aesthetic and physical perfection, as evidenced by high aerodynamic performance, 16 times better than that of one of the most expensive cars in the world, Bugatti Veyron. Further, to create and launch a product to the market as quickly as possible, they use early validation tools by making mock-ups to avoid resource losses during subsequent refinement. Finishing materials are carefully selected to ensure passenger safety and maximize the attractiveness of the transportation service. The ambition is to make Skyway the most efficient and environmentally friendly transport ever. Such a goal sets high standards for the design, as according to the apt words of the aircraft designer Tupolev, only beautiful planes fly well.
But before we go into this presentation, I'll go over the compliance disclaimer and let you all know that SWIG, Skyway Invest Group, we're not registered brokers. Well, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not an accountant. So any information that you see today, just take that as recommendation or personal advice, not financial advice. All business opportunities come with risk, so please do your own research after the webinar. We can give you as much information if you're asking questions, if you want some more documents, anything else, we can happily provide that for you. Also, you'll see some figures today. They're for illustrative purposes only. You can seek confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor in your own country for some advice. So what I like people to think about is their own hopes and dreams, because too many times we spend thinking about what other people want, what's best for my children, what's best for my husband, what would my wife like, what about my mom, my mother-in-law, and when we think about other people, we actually forget to think about what it is that we want, because only unless we're truly happy, unless we're truly satisfied with our hopes and dreams, then we can add real value to others. So think about that while we are going through this webinar. Think about your own hopes, your own dreams, and I'll just give you some ideas of what things you may like. Maybe you're at a job that you don't actually enjoy right now and you want to retire. Maybe you've got a lot of bills that are hanging over your head and you just really want to pay those down, causing you a lot of stress. Maybe you haven't been out a lot and you want to travel the world, meet different people, see different cultures, experience different tastes, different foods. Maybe you want to start a business. I know a lot of people that, love the idea of creating a movie, and maybe with this opportunity, you can see yourself as being the own director of your own movie. Maybe you want to help some family members that could be struggling, give them a helping hand. Or a dream home. Would you like to build a house by the water, by the beach, or maybe somewhere by the river? I know that I'd love to live by the sea. Maybe you want to donate to charity. I've got some favorite charities of my own as well. Fred Hollow's Foundation does great work for people restoring blindness to those in third world countries. So I'd love to donate more to that. And maybe you want to save the endangered animals. We've got a lot of species. We're not the only ones that live and inhabit this planet. So there are just some ideas of things that you may want to do. So have a think about your own self. Be selfish for once and think about that as we go through the webinar. So a question for you: how many income streams would you like? Think about the income streams that you actually have now. I bet most of you only have about one or two income streams. And the thing with having one or two only is if something happens to you in your job, then that income stream is gone. And in the investment world, we call that very risky. We can't ever rely on one income stream. So if that is you, I can tell you're in a very risky position. But we have something unique to benefit everyone. But you can be a co-owner of this transport system. It's going to be built all around the world. Let's take a look at a package that we believe is very affordable. So we believe every family can get into this package. It's called the EIP Intelligent. It costs $50 US. Now for that, you get a bonus-free 1,100 pre-IPO private equity shares with the company Skyway Technology. Now, I'll just let you know what that terminology means. Pre means before. IPO stands for initial public offering. So that's the first time that a company goes to the stock exchange. Private means they're not public yet, and equity shares means you have some ownership in the company. So 1,100 pieces of the company Skyway Technologies. Now, when they go to the stock exchange, they have guaranteed that they will list no less than $1 per share. So if you get your calculator out, you go $1 times 1,100 pre-IPO shares, that will give you a portfolio value of just over $1,100, just over $1,000, 1,100 in fact. Now, they could list for any amount. They could list for $5, $10. They could even list for $20. We don't know what they will list for, and that is in the future. But when they do list for these certain prices, you can see how the portfolio would grow in value. $5 would give you $5,500, $10 a portfolio of 11,000, and $20, similar to what Tesla listed for, would give you a portfolio value of 22,000. So I didn't know this at school. They didn't teach me anything about shares and owning part of a company when I was at school. So how do you make money from these equity shares? Well, every company's main goal is to grow. So as they grow and expand, the value of their stock increases. It goes up and down, but you'll see a few of the companies soon in the next slides. What happens is this will lead to profits and dividends for a lot of the co-owners and the shareholders. So we'll take a look at how smart investors make money. Have a look at the graph there. It's from Microsoft. Just a few companies you may know. Initially, they sold for 10 cents. So if you look at the graph, it's a bit of a flat line, and then it starts to grow. They're approximately $100 a share today. Now, if you had 1,100 shares with Microsoft, the same amount of pre-IPO shares you could get with Skyway Technologies for only $50, your portfolio value would be $110,000. With the company Tesla, they initially sold for $17 a share. They're around about $250 a share today. And if you had 1,100 shares with Tesla, do the math, you'd have a portfolio value of $270,000. Just take a look at the graph there, how it started from the bottom, and then it's worked its way, it's risen up to what it is today. And then we've got Alphabet, the company behind Google, listed for $52 per share. They're over $1,000 a share today. And if you had 1,100 shares with them, you'd have a portfolio value of $1.1 million. Now, Amazon, they initially sold for $1.73 per share, and now they're over $1,500 per share. Now, if you look at the graph there, you'll see that this graph represents over 5 years, so it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. These investments, people put their money in for the long term. So over $1,500 per share today. Now, if you had 1,100 shares with Amazon, your portfolio value would be $1.65 million. So an awesome return. And so that is how clever investors make money. Now, we've got educational information packages, and we believe they're also a great investment in your future. These are designed for ordinary, everyday people, just like you and I, by an experienced educator and investor. Let me introduce you to our Skyway Invest Group CEO, our SWIG CEO, Andre Haratov. Now, Andre is a professional investor. He's also a self-made multi-millionaire. He's the founder of our company, SWIG, Skyway Invest Group, and he's the creator of Academy of the Private Investors. And you'll hear more about them later on in the webinar. He is also a finance and investments business coach. Now, this picture you're looking at here, it's at one of the testing facilities for Skyway Technologies. This testing facility is called Techno Park, and it is in the town of Myrina Gorka in Belarus. It's 36 hectares in size, and all the construction here was built 100% from crowdfunding. So ordinary, everyday people like you and I giving $5, $10, $100, $1,000, etc. So we put our money together, we purchase our packages, and they give some of that money to Dr. Anatoly, who completed, and it's still, they're adding to it as well. This is the park called Techno Park. Now let's take a look at a very short video. I was here at the park August, about 8 months ago. They have one day a year where you saw that crowd of people, only one day a year where they let the general public come through. So on an ordinary day, it's just these guys that are there. Now, they're the engineers. They're the ones that bring in the models from Minsk at the production facility. They bring them here and they test them, and then they tweak them and they test them again, get them ready for certification. They'll actually be high up off the ground, not like you saw some of them low to the ground there, but that's just to save on cost. Now, my son, I took my 8-year-old autistic son with me, Israel, and we rode on this model that you see. It's called the Unibus. And it was a really hot summer's day. And when the Unibus opened up, the doors opened up, it was beautiful air-conditioned splendor inside. There was a monitor, and it was a very smooth ride. And I didn't even realize it was moving until I saw the trees from the orchard going past us. But it was a great experience to actually be at the park and see all the different kinds of technology. So that wasn't the only thing that was on show. They had a uni car, they had the uni bike, the uni wind. There was also the conveyor belt that they're going to use for freight. And they also had the orchard to the right, to the left-hand side, where they're also going to be doing soil rejuvenation, which is another product that they're going to bring out in future. But let's take a look at some of the other Skyway products that you can also be a co-owner of. These, you didn't see all of these on the video, but let's look at the top row. You've got the Unicon. Now, this is part of the freight range. The Unicon will hold shipping containers, 40 foot, 20 foot. It can be adjusted. The Uni truck will hold a full pallet of goods. Then they'll have one that can accept cold storage as well. So it'll be great for transporting cold goods. So, for example, across the desert, we've got a massive stretch from Queensland to WA, to Port Hedland and places like that, where we could actually use this technology. So all of that is part of the freight range. And all these models, there's no driver, so they're all driverless, operated by a fully computerized system. Now, the next one across is the Unibike, and then we have the Unibike will hold 1 to 5 passengers. The Unimobile, as I said, designed for those specifically, for those that with disabilities in a wheelchair. Now they can roll up the ramp and then click into the behind the steering wheel, and away they go. So this is going to be a massive game changer for that industry. Next one along is the Uniwind. Now that one will hold 2 people, and it can also hold fiber optic cable, so it'll be great for remote areas, and I'm sure that model is going to be much more cost efficient for them as well. Then we have the Unibus and Unicar. Now these ones here can be designed and have different segments added onto the back of them, depending on what the customer requires, how many seats, how many carriages they require. Then we have our high-speed train. Now look at this model in the middle. It's got plush leather seating. Everyone's got a monitor. The seats even have a massage feature. Now that model was the one that was unveiled at the expo that was in Germany. InnoTrans, the biggest rail expo in the world. So it was a very popular booth. They were next to some really big names, and a lot of the crowd was actually all hanging around our booth and taking photos, taking selfies. We even had we had Tokyo TV there that set up right in front and did a segment for Tokyo. And since then, they've been back 2 more times. Japan have been back 2 more times to the Eco Techno Park, because they just really love this technology. Now down the bottom, we've got linear cities, which is very exciting. So into the real estate market as well, not just the transport, innovative transport. So linear cities will be towers, 30 to 40 stories high. Think of maybe Westfield Plazas. It'll have supermarkets, it'll have movie theatres, restaurants, it'll have doctor surgeries, dentists, hairdressers, you name it. Everything that a community needs to thrive will be in one of these linear cities. So if you imagine sitting in a mall, and I got this idea from Neil Morrison. He sat in a mall with his daughter not so long ago, and he said, look around at all these shops, all these brand name stores, right? They pay literally thousands of dollars every week to be placed in that mall. And you think of owning one of these linear cities and how much revenue they're going to generate every single week when they pay. And think of places like Kmart. Big stores, big names, they're paying maybe $40,000, $50,000 a week just for the rent in one of these places. So that's going to be a massive income stream for Skyway Technologies moving forward. So linear cities, very excited about that. And then the next picture over is the Eco House. So they will be surrounding, if you have a look on the bottom of the linear cities, you'll see the Eco House is built next to it. And also the last picture, certainly not the last model that this company has, but the drone. It was actually constructed, built to help move the equipment for Skyway Technology, so they don't have to rely on crane operating companies, helicopter companies to move their equipment and to help lay the track as well. It's also been generating a lot of interest in the infrastructure and the construction industry as well. So another model that they could potentially sell to the public as well. So let me introduce you to a true genius. He's the winner of the Golden Chariot Award 2017 for the most eco-friendly transport for Skyway. Now he's also the winner of the Slovakia International Peace Prize. He got that award in December last year. Now, his name is Dr. Anatoly Unitsky. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of times. He's the head Skyway designer. He's an engineer with over 40 years experience. Now, he's the author of over 150 inventions. Now, you saw about 12, 13 on the slide before, but he has over 150 inventions. And you can see more about those inventions on his self-written blog, www.unitsky.com. The United Nations also gave him a $1 million grant, and he has over 100 patents worldwide. So Dr. Anatoly Unitsky, head designer of Skyway Technologies. What you're looking at here is the Skyway Museum ceiling. And what Dr. Anatoly did is he got the names of the first group of people that supported him in his idea, his dream for this technology. He got all their names inscribed into these tiles, and the tiles are illuminated by light at the back, and he calls them Anatoly stars. Now, a lot of these people on these tiles here are from the Academy of the Private Investor, our CEO's first group of investors. So a lovely gesture from Dr. Anatoly for those who first supported him to start to make his dream a reality. Now, when he was a teenager, he developed this technology. He sketched these way back in 1978, not until he met our SWIG CEO, Andre, in 2014, did the engineering happen. So it was nearly 40 years, 36 years, in fact, from the time he first sketched them to he can see his dream is going to start to become a reality. And, we're all very happy for Dr. Anatoly because he has spent the better part of his life trying to do this to save the planet. So very humble humanitarian. Now, the building and construction happened a year after he met our CEO. The demonstration and certification happened in 2016. We're in technology adoption right now with the building of the first project and several other projects in the United Arab Emirates, and one of them will be completed this year. And then in future, the company are going to the stock exchange. Now, we don't have a date for that, but we can tell you things are moving along quite nicely for Skyway Technologies. They're currently in stage 13 out of 15 stages. Now, they've got intellectual property rights and patents value over $400 billion. That was done by KPMG. Over 300 signed agreements with various countries. The technology, we've raised over $100 million to date, and is fully transferable, which means it can be built all over the world at the same time. Now, let's take a look at some of the countries that are backing this technology with signed agreements. Tanzania, Belarus, Ireland. Then we've got Ukraine, Russia. Now, they're building the linear cities that I showed you. They're building 5 linear cities, and that is going to be happening within the next 2 years. So very exciting. Turkey, they're on board. We've got Italy as well, Ethiopia, Indonesia. They're going to be redesigning Jurong port there, so a lot of freight. And they're doing a handful of other projects, about 10 in the last article that I read. They're going to be spending over $40 billion. And I think it was Helen jumped in the webinar the other day and told us that that should be completed by 2030. Yeah, so interesting for Indonesia. And then we've got India, who are building in Philippines as well. India, who are building in about 15 major cities across the country. So it's great news for them. We all know how hectic their traffic can be. And then we've got Australia as well. Now, Australia have Rod Hook that you see in the picture there. He does a great job introducing this technology to a lot of the companies here. And he's got over 100 signed agreements already with companies that are quite interested in the technology. And then we've also got United Arab Emirates. And last week in the news, we had Vietnam coming on board as well. Dr. Anatoly was there and made the announcement. So very exciting. Now I'm going to show you a video of the high speed. Now this was the model that was on showcase in InnoTrends. So the 6-seater. You can see it's going to go through different terrain. So here we're going through the mountains, and you see we're not going to bother the animals. We're not going to bother the ecosystems. He's Dr. Anatoly is very aware of conserving the ecosystems and not ruining it. So we won't be in the way of animals, migration patterns, or anything like that. Good picture here of how it will be built. So it can be built through the snow, through the mountains. It can even be built on water. So this is very interesting to the Philippines as well. Think about countries that have outer islands that they want to connect to. So they can build on all these different terrains, including sand, including the jungle. Now, if you think about your metro trains, they cannot go through any of these terrains. And in some cases, it's 10 to 20 times less of so it'll be great for the government still be getting on board with this. Designed by the Hummingbird, so you've never seen this design before. It's absolutely unique. Now, that was a six-seater, but Dr. Anatoly said that he's been getting interest from people who want 200, 300 seats in their high-speed train, so he can certainly accommodate for that. So we're hoping to get that model certified sometime this year. Now, you're looking at this picture, and I'll just get that person to be muted before I continue. It's quite distracting. Mute. Okay. I'll continue. Okay, so what you're looking at here is an artist's rendition of what the new innovation center is going to be in the United Arab Emirates. So we're asking that you help us crowdfund to this goal. So far we've raised $100 million. We spent that at Dr. Anatoly helped to construct the first park that I showed you the video of, Eco Techno Park. Now we need to raise another $100 million or more. Dr. Anatoly said, the more the better, and that will help with the construction here and of a testing facility and an innovation center as well in Sharjah, which is in United Arab Emirates. So if you go to YouTube, you can just Google Sharjah Skyway and you'll see some of the construction happening already. So very exciting. We've got a few Skyway partners, SWIG partners that have been down to Sharjah and done a tour around and put that on YouTube as well. So go and have a look at that. Very exciting, especially if you're a co-owner. So Christian, how can you help us? Well, you can become a co-owner for as little as $50. But that's not the only packages we have. We actually have a lot of packages. So let's just take a look at some of them. These ones we call standard packages. So these are one-time payments. So you buy your educational package. The more you spend, the more education lessons that you get. And each of those come with a special gift of some pre-IPO shares. So they do start from $5 and we don't have enough time to show you every pack that's here. So just ask someone to help you sign up for a free back office website, and then you can have a look and see which packages suit you. Now we also have installment packages. You can pay these over 10 months. So for example, when I first started, I wanted a package that was $2,500, and they give you a chance to pay that at $250 per month, every single month. And so over 10 months, you have it all paid off. So that is another idea for you. So have a look at those standard packages or installment packages. We also have lots of other things you can buy. Some things don't include Skyway technologies at all. We have our education courses where we teach you in person in a classroom setting, which is great. We have they're called Master Profi. So you can just have a look at all the different things that our company offers as well. Now, as a co-owner of Skyway Technologies, you'll benefit from IPO, from when the company goes to the stock exchange. So you can sell your shares anytime after a 6-month stand down period, or you can hold on to them and wait for the dividends to kick in. So we don't know, we don't have a date for that. It is sometime in the future. It could be 3 years away, it could be more, but it definitely is a great income stream to look forward to. Now let's take a look at what I've just shown you. How can you add these income streams to your everyday life? At the moment, we have 3 different time frames. We've got today, we've got tomorrow, and we've got the future. So today, what you could do is you could have an income stream, what we call a network income stream. And a network is just really a fancy way to say invite your family and friends or your work colleagues or your friends from church to come and have a look at the sports teams, because if you see what you like, if you like the idea of the Skyway technologies and you think, hey, you know what, I could get a $50 pack, I could I see this as going somewhere in the future. It's just going to change the way we do things. The Skyway technology is run on electricity, and I don't know if you know it, but fossil fuels, the diesel, petrol, we've only got about 30 to 50 years reserves left, so there is no other way out. So like it or not, this technology is going to take over, just as a smartphone took over from, those little brick phones that we used to have. So today, if you like what you see, and you want to tell other people, if you want to earn an income stream, you can, by building a network. And this company rewards you with every sale. There's a reward system. Ask someone to have a look at it. It's called our marketing plan. And for that, you will get rewarded by the company to say thank you for helping us to crowdfund to our goal, and thank you for your time. We don't expect you to talk to people on our behalf and get nothing for it. So that's earning money from building a network. Now tomorrow, a different time frame, you could be a representative of the company and get paid, like myself, a speaker and a coach. If you help this company globally, because the company is quite young, we're going into 5 years this year, so we're still looking for many people to help us grow this brand. You can be part of the multi-level crowd investing department and share in the global revenue. So these are massive income streams. Also, if you bring in a big investor, we also have another income stream to thank you for that as well. Now, in the future, as I said, we don't have a date, but when Skyway goes to IPO, when they go to the stock exchange, and also by dividends, you will have some other income streams for you as well. So what have we got there? We have got 7 income streams. Now, that's the end of the Skyway Technology presentation, but we do have another product. So I want to show you that very soon, because I've got some more income streams for you. We're in the pre-launch phase of our new product. And this also comes with new education products and course topics. Now, these will help you succeed in managing your finances and building wealth creation. We've got topics such as these: first steps of a private investor, auditing your finances, additional sources of income. We should all be interested in that. Creating a financial plan, because if you don't create a plan, you don't know where you're going, and why it's important to keep track of your money. So not just what the income was, what the expenses was, but we also have to learn how to grow it, because there's no use in having just an income and expense sheet and nothing put aside to make that grow. You don't get anywhere. It's just money in and money out. So how to be in the financial flow of the rich, and how to turn all your dreams into a reality. Now, we know that studying is theory. So if you think about getting your driver's license, you would have had to study the road rules. We have a booklet here in Queensland called, and what we do is we study that first. And then what happens is you go and make an appointment to do your practical, right? So there's no point in studying the road rules if you're never, ever going to drive the car, going to do your practical. And that's exactly how we feel with our education as well. So we include a very special gift with our education, because it's no good just learning about finances, learning about investments, learning about financial planning if you don't have something in your portfolio. So with this particular education packs, we include something very special. It's our new product. It's called Crypto Unit. Now, if you ask, well, why crypto? Isn't crypto risky? Well, all investments do have an element of risk. However, our Crypto Unit, in time, it will be a registered security token. Now, these tokens are secured by real-world assets, unlike other cryptocurrency coins. Security tokens, they're also governed by regulatory bodies. So we'll look more into that soon. Now, cryptocurrency tokens and cryptocurrency coins, they both use blockchain technology. You've probably heard about this. It is a process that records your private information and stores it securely. So I've had a good look at blockchain technology, and I also agree that it's a very secure place for all our data to be on. Now, you'll hear a lot of companies are going to be moving their files and everything they owned, all their assets, onto the blockchain, and it's because of the security that they're going to be doing so. So our crypto unit will allow you to share in the profits of real-world assets. And our crypto unit program will distribute monthly loyalty payments to those co-owners. And that actually already started in May. Now, this picture that you're looking at is the how I said it was secured by real-world assets. These are the assets that it's secured to. It's our SWIG portfolio. And I took this picture back in February, and there were 21 investment instruments back then. but now the company have added another 8 instruments to the portfolio. Now we can all share in the profits of this portfolio via the crypto unit token. Now, what is in this portfolio? Well, we've got shares in Facebook. So not just we use it, but we also are co-owners in it. We've got shares in Twitter, Berkshire Hathaway, which is one of the most expensive shares in the world, Sberbank, these are banks in Russia, Gazprom banks, Visa, MasterCard. So now you can smile every time you get a Visa or MasterCard fee, because that money is going to be coming back to you in the form of loyalty payments and dividends if you're part of the crypto unit program. FedEx, an energy company. We own part of a gold mine as well, land and real estate in Taganrog in Russia. And we're also building our own hotel on one of those pieces of land. We've got a variety of cryptocurrencies as well. And you saw the first offer that I showed you, our first products that include Skyway Technologies. We have massive ownership in this company. We have over 300 million pre-IPO shares in this company as well. As I said, we love this company. We align ourselves with the vision of Dr. Anatoly, and we know this eco-friendly transport is really going to help to save the planet. We also own a movie production company, crypto cash ATM machines, and more. Actually, every day we've got a financial team that work very hard to add wealth generating assets to our global portfolio. Now, they're going to need a lot of time, a lot of help in time. And so this is where we want to educate people so they can also be part of this team. Now, if that sounds like you, I'll show you a little bit more on the last slide before we close out. But this is our SWIG portfolio performance over the past 4 years. Now, we're looking at the growth in figures. And back in 2014, which really wasn't that long ago, the company started out with $26,000. Now, in February, the valuation was just over 11.5 million. It's well over 12 million right now. Now, that represents over 44,000% growth. That equates to 774% per month and 25.8% growth per day. These figures are massive. You've never heard of these in the industry. You know, I really do challenge you to find a company who has these figures. You'll probably find that there are none. Even looking at the top companies in the world, they never experienced this kind of growth over this period. Now, the crypto unit program will provide an opportunity for you to become a co-owner, a stakeholder, and a shareholder of the global investment portfolio. Now, this operates in all segments and sectors of the investment market. Now, you've heard about people saying, they've heard the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, our CEO, Andrei Haratov, knows that very well. So he is spreading all the investments over the different sectors. So we'll be in education, of course, this is the focus of SWIG. This is what we want to do. We want to provide financial literacy to everyone in the world. We also are will be in the healthcare sector as well, the banking sector, the stock markets. You saw a lot of the shares that we already own with several companies, the currency markets, cryptocurrency. We'll also be in agriculture. We didn't see that today. We'll also be in the science sector, the culture sector. Think about movies. If you think about movies these days and becoming part of that, where you're going to be writing movies, directing movies. A lot of the movies these days are quite violent, so it'll be quite good, violent. It's just, some of them are just not really helping us to enhance our lives. We've got a lot of funny movies, and sometimes when I look at it, I think, is there any movies here that are really motivating us to move forward as a global community? And so when we're in this sector, we can be producing movies that we think will add real value to people's lives, not just, a whole lot of people running around shooting guns and action movies and so forth. We're also in the markets of precious and semi-precious metals and stones, and space development, which will be very exciting, and also charities. We have to give back to the community. Now, we've got a concept in SWIG. It's to help citizens from every country of the world. So think about this. It's a new system of fairness. sharing and equality for all. If you think about the system that we live in now, we're all segregated. Every country is segregated, and this government looks after that. That government looks after that. We don't really come together as just a group of people like you see in this photo and just share everything, share the wealth. Everyone has these, fences that we put up between each other. So we've got a new system. It's called the new economic evolution of the world. And what we want to do here is we want to work together. We want to band together as a group, and we want to provide global wealth distribution. So as you saw with the Skyway Technology, we want to purchase things like Skyway Technology, purchase the transport that everyone's going to use and then share the wealth with the people. We want to purchase maybe the water companies, and then we want to share the profits from that company with the people. We want to purchase energy companies and share the wealth with all the people. So it's such a great concept that we purchase some amazing companies and we get behind them, and when they profit, we want to share those profits with everyone. So we believe that this will provide you with the security that you need, because a lot of you, maybe not you, maybe people you even know, sometimes that people worry and they stress and they get anxiety about where the next paycheck is coming from. I mean, maybe this job isn't full time. Am I still going to have this job next year? And then am I going to be able to pay for the kids to go to college? Am I going to be able to pay for the car when it breaks down? So we want to be able to give those people protection and security and the knowledge that the money will come. Don't have to worry about that. So we'll band together as a group. Now, we believe doing it this way will add value to people's lives. And then what we'll get is we'll get a whole community of people that are just prospering. Everyone will be happy. This is the kind of community we want to live in, right? Not the one that we're provided with right now. And only then, I believe, and also our Andre Haratov, our CEO, believes only then, when we're satisfied, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, can we really truly chase and realize our dreams. Because it's hard to try to chase your dream if you're worrying about how you're going to pay the mortgage next month, or can you make that car payment, or can you even put food on the table. So this is a new concept. You'll see it written around a lot, NEEW. So when you see it, you know where you've heard it from. Now, this is a private members only club to get into crypto unit. The first one I showed you, Skyway Technologies. If you want to purchase a product there, that one is from $5 and up. But for crypto unit, it's a very different buy-in if you want to be into this club with this membership fee. So in this fee here, we have different packages, and the different packages range from $100 to $8,000. Now, if you want one of the bigger packages, it's $620 to buy in, and if you want one of the lower costing packages, it's $100 to buy in for the entry fee. And with that amount of money, you get some pre-IPO shares, or choose one of the packages that we have with Skyway Technologies if you like, or maybe another package, but ask someone to help you to understand what that fee is. So it's $100 if you want the smaller packages, or if you want the bigger packages, $2,500 and up, it's a $620 fee. Now, do you remember the cash flow quadrant that I showed you earlier on? It actually has a business system. As I said, it has a network where you can earn money today. So if you want to purchase one of the bigger packages, and maybe you don't have that money, use the business system that we have to start generating income for you. Just ask the person who introduced you to this webinar today to help you out. Now, this is the crypto unit program, right? Global portfolio ownership via our security token. Right now, we've got our crypto unit is basically going to be swapped with a security token when it is ready. It's going through all the legalities, so that's not going to be ready until the end of the year. Will be backed up by real assets. Now, you saw some of the global portfolio, regulated by governing institutions, transparent fundraising, and then we have a loyalty program payout. The payouts, they first started earlier in March. I'll go over some of those dates soon. And we've already got our first lot of payouts. When we go to the exchange, you'll get dividends. And also you get to vote on the revenue distribution moving forward. Now, stage 1 for crypto units started on the 30th of March. It sold out in 36 hours. Stage 2 opened a few days after that on the 3rd of April, and that one is now closed as well. And we're in stage 3 right now. That started on the 1st of May. And there are a few of the packages, the most expensive packages, have already sold out. So we still have packages from 100 to 1,000. And for example, for $100, you get 10,000 crypto unit tokens. Now, the estimation is those could be in 10 years' time worth about $1,000 each. So ask someone to have a good look at the different kinds of packages and go over it with the person who introduced you. Now, as I said, it gives you loyalty program bonuses. So these that were paid out just earlier this month in May was the first lot of payouts. So that is going to happen monthly for us. So very exciting. So these are the extra income streams. Remember, I asked you how many income streams would you like? So we're going to add also the crypto unit in yellow and down the bottom there, the loyalty program that's already happening. So we're going to have to move it over to the today timeline. And then we also have in future the crypto unit STO, the security token. When it goes to the exchange, you can sell them if you like, or you can hold on to them and also receive a dividend from them. So not very many crypto assets will give you dividends every month. So very exciting for us to get that opportunity. Now, as I said, that we're only a young company. Now we're going to have the 5th birthday celebrations for Skyway Invest Group this week, and that's going to be held in New Delhi in India. We call it Eventi Swig 2019. Now you're all welcome to come to that. Come and have a listen to our CEO, Andre Harato. You know, he wants to create 1 million millionaires. Now, if you're one of the people here at the webinar and you say, hey, you know what, I want to be a millionaire too, come to India with us and come and listen to how Andre plans to do that. Now, we have that event for all partners from the 11th to the 13th. And then if you're a leader manager in the company above, you're also going to go to Goa for a few more days of celebration. So if you want to go to this, and let's just say you have no money today, we've got a business system. So we can map out some sort of plan for you to follow so you can get yourself to India and come and join us as well. We've only got 18,000 seats. And when people all around the globe hear that this guy is going to create 1 million millionaires, we're going to get a lot of networkers and a lot of business people from all around the world that aren't even in this company come to listen just how he plans to do that. Now, what do we stand for? We're closing up here, everyone. I want to thank you so much for your time. SWIG, we want to create and implement the new economic evolution of the world program system of fairness and equality, sharing for all. We want to improve the financial and investment literacy of people. We want to reach at least 15% of the world population. And I believe we can do that and more, because as people come to realize what this concept is, the concept of sharing together as a people, because this planet has so many resources, there should not be someone that goes without and someone having plenty and someone having none. That's just not a fair system at all. And we also want to create professional, multi-purpose investment advisors and managers. Like I showed you before, we've got that team of people that look around for great investments to put in our portfolio. Now, if you're thinking, geez, I would like to do that, you know, we have a system where we can teach you in our courses, starting from Master Profi and up, and how you can be one of these professionals. So there is massive scope in our company for you to grow. So if you want to change the environment, change the direction of where your life is going as far as your career is concerned, come and align yourself with us. There's so much room for everyone. Also, we want to bring to the world technologies that is going to help save our planet and the human race. So everyone, this is the end of our presentation. I want to thank you so much for your time. And again, if you are new to this presentation, please ask someone to help you register for a free back office website, because really that's where all the information is. We've got documents, we've got news, all the packages. There's a wealth of information for you. Also, there's some free education lessons that you can go over before you put your toes in the water, before you take a swim. So everyone, I'm going to stop the webinar now.